Good morning and welcome to Coffee Ann, the longest-running panel discussion show in American radio. To make a comment or ask a question to the panel, call 401-766-1240 or email coffee@woonsocketradio.com. And now, let's join the Coffee Ann panel.
It is Coffee Ann on ON Radio. Thanks for joining us on Wednesday morning, December the 4th. Thanks for being there. I'm Joe Callahan, and around the Coffee Ann table, a full panel this morning. Melissa Smith from the San Antoine Communities. Hi, Melissa.
Good morning.
Just wave.
Don't say anything.
For the few people that might be watching and not listening.
Tim Draper from Navigant Credit Union. Hey, Tim.
There I am. Hi.
And Citizen John Ward is with us this morning.
Citizen Kane.
Well. Citizen Kane. So, and joining us via the telephone is the brandy new. And John had this title for a little while. You don't have any more, John.
No.
But Dan Gendron, Woonsocket City Council President, is with us on the phone. Good morning to you, Dan. Dan, are you there?
Oh, you got to push the button.
Oh, I thought you did push the buttons.
No,
My goodness, I was pointing. Dan Gendron, hello.
Now I can hear you.
All right, perfect. There we go. Now, did you hear John say you stole his job from him?
That is so wrong. He willingly gave it up.
Okay.
He knows I kid. You know how willing that was. You convened the 35th City Council under the new city charter. I adjourned the 34th Council under the new city charter.
See you later. Huh? All right, we're going to talk to Dan.
That.
We're going to talk to Dan in just a minute. But Melissa, it's time for your first message, please, from the St. Antoine Communities.
Well, I've actually never met Dan, so I'm just going to say it's nice
He's a
to meet
guy.
you through the radio somehow, maybe in person someday. And I just wanted to share it for folks that may not be aware that in about an hour, some friendly little elves from Navigant Credit Union are going to be popping up at St. Antoine Community at the John St. Sever walking path, and they are going to be busy little elves decorating a beautiful community tree for us. It's a special project they've been working on for the last few weeks and gathering some folks together to make it a magical little display on the property at St. Antoine Community. And I just wanted to do a shout out of thanks and gratitude because in healthcare, it's hard to find a spare minute or two to go the extra mile and put together something as generous as they are doing for us. And our residents are going to love it. So at 2 o'clock today, we will be doing an official tree lighting. Weather permitting, of course.
Yeah,
There's
I know,
weird,
right?
wonky reports. Could be raining, could be snowing. Either way,
Wouldn't
it's
it be
going to
lovely
be
to have a
cold.
little festive snow while we lit the tree?
I don't mind a little spitting of some flakes. I think the problem we have is the temperature, and so we're a little worried some of our residents are going to be too afraid to come out. But I wanted to open it up to the public, as we did in the beginning with our message. If you are interested in coming out and welcoming the crew from Navigant and our staff and bringing in the Christmas cheer to our property, stop by at 2 o'clock, 10 Rhodes Avenue, out on the John St. Sever walking path. We'd be happy to have you.
I'm amazed you never met Dan. You work 300 yards apart from each other.
That's right.
I don't know how.
Exactly.
Right? We haven't
He's
met,
down the
right?
hill.
So I think we have, Melissa, but what I'm going to say
That's cringe.
is if you're there today
Yeah.
around 3:45, I'm going to stop in to introduce myself.
Okay, I will be with some North Smithfield High School students, but I'd be happy to pop my head out and say hello.
Very good.
All right.
I will stop by just to put a face to the name.
Okay, and at 2 o'clock, I will be on the walking path with the
Right.
Navigant team. So if you were able to come a little earlier, I could meet you there and give you a cup of hot chocolate.
But since Dan and I have already met, he has no desire to see me again, which is fine.
Is that what it was?
All right. So, Dan, last night was inauguration at the high school. Overall thoughts on the inauguration from last night?
Well, I thought it was a nice event. It's it as always, these things get to there. A lot of people that want to say a lot of things, so it gets. I'm sure I heard some people in the audience say that it seemed long, but when you're a person that is involved in the inauguration, it's a very enjoyable event. So I hope it was a fair balance for everyone. I personally tried to get through the organizational meeting as quickly as I could because I knew people were getting uncomfortable. But it was nice to see the people that have recently been elected come together and all officially be inaugurated, the school committee, city council, and mayor.
And last night was you were voted in as president, and Denise Sierra was voted in as vice president, correct?
That is correct.
All right, you're ready to go. Now, you've done this job before, so you know what you're doing. There's really no learning curve, right?
I don't think so. I feel pretty good about taking over. I've got of course, there's been a number of things that I've learned from my predecessor twice now.
Mm-hmm.
2 times I have followed John Ward as president when he has not had that position.
Mm-hmm.
So this is my second time filling in his shoes, and they're big shoes to fill.
Okay. And what size are you, John?
12.
It's at 12. Well, that's a good size
They're
shoe.
definitely bigger than mine.
So your thoughts on with the new Woonsocket City Council, with the new members on there? Do you see yourselves being able to all work together? And then a follow-up question is working together with the mayor as well.
Yeah, I think that is. Here's what I said to anyone that I spoke to on the council when I was looking for support as council president. I made it clear that I don't think we should go into this term with always just trying to get to a 4 vote. I believe that every vote we should aim for a 7-0. Now that's not always going to happen, but it is a better goal to try and get things to compromise and to collaborate so that we can have a lot of 7-0 votes as opposed to 4-3s. And that's what I think you saw when we came to the president's vote. It was 7-0, and I believe, I know personally it was rewarding for me to know that I had the support of my 6 colleagues to lead the council as president for the next 2 years.
Okay. And how do you feel your relationship is with the mayor?
I think it's going to be good. I hope that I think Chris has demonstrated that he will be willing to work collaboratively. As long as that continues, I think that it's going to be necessary that we both realize we need each other.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm hoping that the mentality that we remember from the past of my way or the highway is gone, and that the new mayor will understand that we were all elected and that we all want to see the city do well. It's not us against them, and it shouldn't be a battle to see who can outdo the other. We need to work together, and I think that Chris has demonstrated, and he's publicly said that is his desire, and I hope his word is true and that we will see a very collaborative group of people working together.
You had your first organizational meeting last night, but when is your first meeting going to take place at Harris Hall?
So our first regular meeting will be on December 16th at 7 p.m.
Oh, you're moving.
And, well, we're going back to what it always has been, and that is a 7 p.m. start on the first and third Mondays of most months, except for July, August, and September, where
Right.
there's only one meeting in those 3 months. But yes, so we're going to be meeting at 7, but our next meeting will be actually on the 9th. We're going to be having a work session on the 9th to go over a few things that are pressing and left over from the previous council.
And then first regular on the 16th. Okay, very good. Before we let you go, I don't know if the council's going to take this up at any time. I'm just looking what's taking place and what other town councils and city councils are doing around the state, in Rhode Island and in Massachusetts. But some cities, Dan, are they're making homeless encampments illegal, and they just as a way to as a way of dealing with the homeless. Do you think the Woonsocket City Council will take up that if a resolution is brought up for that?
I don't know that there would be support for that on its own.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know that there would be support to simply say homeless encampments are illegal and then let it just go where it goes. But I do think that in some of the plans that I've spoken with some of the my colleagues, both new and old, there is an idea that we put together some support. We find ways of eliminating the need for these encampments. And once we can put those things together, then the next step would be to restrict use of these unauthorized encampments. But I don't know that there'd be any support to simply say there's no place for you here, and there's no place for them to go either. They are human beings.
Okay. We want to let Dan get back to his regular job, unless someone else has a question for Dan.
No, but I feel bad because I now remember that I did meet him. As soon as we stopped, this is part of where I'm at, my age and whatever else. But I have mental blocks, and I just said to myself, you came out to our open house at Primrose.
I did.
You did, and it was a blur of a night.
I didn't want to make you feel too bad about it, so.
No, but I didn't want to be that person, and I said, "Oh God, how embarrassing!" I didn't want to have you show up today and then have me say, "Oh wait, yeah, I do remember you," but I do, and I apologize.
No, don't. I sometimes don't make a lasting impression, so I was going to go try it a second time.
I also happen to know a lot of Dans, and I think the other thing, and part of the industry problem that we have, is that when you live in Northern Rhode Island and you serve Northern Rhode Island, every family, brother, sister, cousin, neighbor, like, I'm name saturated sometimes, so it takes me a minute to say, okay, like, where do I know them from? Is it from town? Is it from my kid's school? Is it from my neighborhood? Where is it? So it took me a minute.
Well, check your employee roster. You're going to see that I have family there working.
That was part of it, was in my Rolodex of the name. And anyways, okay, we don't want to bore the audience, but
no.
Don't feel pressured to stop by, but we'd be happy to have you still anyways.
Excellent.
Well, that's funny.
Well, thank you, Melissa.
Good luck, Dan, and especially with the financial challenges that I know are coming up. It's going to be quite the thing dealing with the state budget that's going to be coming, I'm sure, and then dealing with how to balance the city's budget. Best of luck with it.
Well, I appreciate that, John, but I'm going to make a public plea to you in front of everyone that's listening, and that is that I hope you stay involved at some level, and if nothing else, know that you and I should continue to work together, because I know the value of what you bring to the city, and I would hate to see that just go away. I need your assistance, and I hope that you stay involved.
I will look forward to that.
Good luck, Dan.
Thank you.
Yes,
Thank you very much. And
thanks for joining us this morning, Dan. Appreciate it.
Is Dave there too?
Well, he's around here somewhere, but I'm not sure where we went off to.
No, I just didn't want to miss who was in the studio. So,
okay.
Thank you for your time, and I appreciate you allowing me to call in this morning.
All right. Very good.
Take care.
Have a good day. Bye now.
You too.
All right. Dan Gendron, the new Woonsocket City Council president, joining us here on the Coffee and program. He was just inaugurated last night. John, did you attend the inauguration?
No, I did
didn't know
not.
if that was going to be something you would want to go to or not. But okay. And I saw pictures from it last night, and looks like it was a nice little ceremony.
Is it usually
That
at
took place.
the high school? Is it usually at the auditorium?
No.
that's
Well,
first
it's usually at the auditorium. Well, it has been in the past, and then Lisa brought it over to the stadium, or Leo actually had it at the stadium, and Lisa brought it to the stadium and then to St. Anne's Arts and Cultural Center. Generally, it had always been in the auditorium, but the auditorium's undergoing renovations. They're replacing all the seats, and they're redoing the interior, so it wasn't available at this time, so that's why they used the gymnasium.
Gym yesterday? Okay.
Yeah.
All right, and it's time for Melissa to give us a second message now from the St. Antoine communities, and we'll take a quick little break.
So the last time I was on the air, which I was thinking it was last week, but it was the week before because I couldn't make it here at the last minute last week, so I apologize about that.
I did the show by myself. That's fine.
Oh my gosh, you were all alone,
I was not all alone.
Oh my gosh. Well, if I could just, anyways, I won't get into why I wasn't here. But what I wanted to say is the last time I was on the air, you had asked me a series of questions about our wait list and, do people watch the obituaries and do people monitor?
Right.
It got a little deep. But I just want to say following that, I had gotten an influx of calls. I think people had listened to what I had said about, planning ahead and getting familiar with the admissions process and really not waiting until the unfortunate happens, only because we can't guarantee that we have, a bed available for your loved one or an apartment available for your loved one. And it is that very busy time of year and also a very unhealthy time of year. A lot of people get sick, a lot of people fall. And so every level of care at St. Antoine Community is full, and we have a waiting list for every level of care. So if you are interested in learning more about the process or taking a tour now in anticipation of someday needing to make a decision about long-term placement for a loved one, please reach out to me with enough time so we can get your name on a list. The way the process works is we prioritize in-house first. So if you are living at the assisted living and you need rehab, we are going to prioritize you getting placed over someone from the outside. If you are in our assisted living and need memory care or skill care, we're going to prioritize those people. So getting your foot in the door, although sounds kind of strange, is very helpful in terms of kind of prioritizing you and the progression of your health at whatever pace that runs. So coming out and meeting with me and understanding all of this would be very helpful for you and for us as well. So you can reach me at 401-767-3500. Thank you.
All right, Melissa, thanks. And the Coffee and program will continue. Comments and questions can be called in at 766-1240. Delicious eats, welcoming atmosphere, and friendly staff describes River Falls Restaurant. There is something special every day at River Falls. Monday is the burger and beer special. Tuesday is 20% off takeout for in-house and phone orders only. Wednesday is music bingo. Thursday's trivia night. Friday and Saturday, they have live entertainment. And Sunday, enjoy Ma Glockner's Chicken. Check out the menu online at riverfallscomplexri.com. River Falls Restaurant, Market Square, Woonsocket, where every seat feels like the best seat in the house. The Coffee and panel is enjoying coffee from Down East Coffee Roasters. All their coffee is roasted right here in Rhode Island. Down East Coffee Roasters is available at all Little General stores.
It's back again. Bowling for milk. It's a fun way to raise money for the 2024 Milk Fund Appeal. Join your friends and neighbors at the Walnut Hill Bowling Lanes this Sunday, December 8th from 1 to 4 p.m. for strike spares and maybe a few gutter balls, but plenty of fun at Bowling for Milk. Just $25 gets you 2 hours of bowling plus shoes rental. Proceeds go to the Milk Fund. To add to the fun, ON Radio's Cruisin' Bruce Palmer will be there in person, spinning the oldies, taking requests, and demonstrating his bowling technique. The Patriots don't play this week, so join us for Bowling for Milk. This Sunday, December 8th, from 1 to 4 p.m. at the Walnut Hill Bowl on Diamond Hill Road. It's a party to help the Milk Fund.
ON Radio.
It is Coffee and on ON Radio. Thanks for joining us. This is Joe Callahan along with Melissa Smith, Tim Draper, and John Ward. And John, first of all, John, how was your cross-country trip?
Yeah.
Yeah. Is this a new vehicle, by the way, from your cross-country trip?
No.
Because that looks fun.
That is fun. I
Yeah.
bought the pickup truck because my wife's 2006 Honda CR-V was,
Didn't make it anymore?
It's time. Yeah.
it just didn't have enough of the modern conveniences. So,
Like FM radio.
CD player and cassette player and kind of stuff, no camera.
Pioneer stereo.
I offered to buy her a camera that you can attach to the car. Wasn't interested. So I found, we were looking for a car for her, but then I saw this pickup and it was sort of the upscale version of the small pickup. So it's got the leather interior, all the gadgets, bells and whistles.
He
and
trumped
so
her getting
I
a new
checked it
car.
out. I
He
checked
gave
it
her the
out.
hand-me-down.
And it's a 22. It's not new. And picked that up. And she gets the 2018
hand-me-down.
CRV.
Oh, all right. All right.
But it's a far cry from a 2006 CRV. And so I actually flew out to California, which was the worst part of the trip because I had 2 stops in between, and Chicago, then Phoenix, and then Fresno.
O'Hare's lovely.
And I guess planes are just getting uncomfortable. The seats are
Getting.
too small.
Yeah.
It's just
There's
makes
no
no
leg
sense.
room.
California's a long flight.
But then
That's a long day of travel.
I drove my son's CRV back while he was driving the truck. He had the truck loaded up with all of their earthly belongings, had the house inspected to make sure there was nothing, no extra charges, and off we went on a Friday morning, stopped at the Grand Canyon, sort of a side trip because that wasn't really on Route 40. Stopped at the Grand Canyon the first night, stayed there, visited the Grand Canyon in the morning.
Nice.
You said this was your first time to the Grand Canyon,
was,
right?
yes.
What did you think?
For the one place we checked out, it's incredibly amazing.
It's overwhelming,
to
right?
See.
It's
It
just-
really is overwhelming. I saw a very interesting post on Facebook that says that if you go to I forget which ones are the valleys, but different valleys and national parks. The base of this one is the top of the next one, and the base of that one is the top of the Grand Canyon. So they actually elevate.
steps.
Now I'll have to find it and send it along to you. It's
Yeah, I
pretty
wanna see
amazing.
that.
Did you take
But-
the donkey down, or did you
But
just?
then we basically traveled Route 40 the rest of the time. Stopped in Amarillo the second night, and then drove the long drive from Amarillo to Nashville, and stayed in Nashville, and then back to Virginia Beach.
All
And,
right.
Are you compatible traveling friends? And I mean, I know it's your son, but like, that's a long amount of time to be
they're
in a
different
car.
They're in different
Oh,
cars,
I
though.
thought. So I thought on the ride back here, you were in two separate cars.
Two separate cars. He was driving. He was driving the
Oh,
truck.
then
he
you're your
rented.
best travel
I
companion.
was driving. I was driving alone.
Okay.
Which actually worked out well. I think I probably spent 30% of all of the time on the phone talking to
yeah.
people, making phone calls, doing council business, and
Nothing wrong with that.
the rest of my time was catching up with some old Joe Rogan podcasts and Megyn Kelly podcasts and listening to some music.
All right.
Okay.
I'm very comfortable driving long distances. I'm wondering if I should go get a CDL license in retirement. because
Those seats are comfortable. Those
I
big
have
trucks are.
absolutely. I had no problem. I was not tired or drained or falling asleep. I just drive. And
Very good.
It's not a problem for me.
You put it on cruise control, or you just use the regular?
It was tough on cruise control.
Yeah.
There was a section of Route 40 in Arizona that got backed up because of an accident and some construction. And cruise control is a little tough. I actually was close to the truck, so I was drafting.
Okay.
Got up over 35 miles per gallon on his CRV rather, because I was drafting off the truck. But it's hard because frankly the traffic was a lot heavier coming cross country over a weekend than I thought it would be.
Okay.
A lot of tractor trailers. I mean, to when you were out between New Mexico, Arizona, Texas, Oklahoma, and you're seeing the 100+ car trains that are going by you. Some of them double stacked with 4 engines pulling them, or 2
Yeah,
engines in the
usually there's
front,
an
2
engine in
engines
the middle
back.
too, and one in the middle
It's incredible. And then
How
you've
big
got
it is, yeah.
tractor trailers
with
all
three
over the
with
place.
3 trailers.
Yeah, it's actually that
Some
was
are.
what surprised me. I did not see any double trailers
No.
until the day after I got back when I was
Wow.
coming north to Virginia to my other son's house, where we actually saw a double trailer for the first time. Coming the whole trip across the country, I didn't see one double trailer or triple trailer or
Wow.
anything like that.
Surprising.
It was a bit surprising to me. But
All
there
right.
were a ton of trucks. The trains out west of the Mississippi
Huge.
are huge.
Yeah. They go on forever.
I don't know where they're going and what they're carrying, but they've got a lot of
I don't
stuff.
know how it moves.
Yeah, right.
It's so large. All right. Well, I'm glad it went well. So back here in Rhode Island, we had the standoff in Smithfield that lasted a little over a day, I guess, but ended peacefully. Finally, there in Smithfield, the 59-year-old man who had barricaded himself inside a house. They weren't sure if he had a weapon or not. I think he said he did, but he probably didn't, because he wasn't arrested for anything. He was taken to a hospital for an evaluation. There was just a quote-unquote mental health
There were a
change,
lot
is
of
how they
police
call
cars on that scene. A lot of
They're right on the
rescues
line
and
of
stuff.
Johnston, right?
Yeah.
So Johnston Police and
Yep.
Smithfield came.
and that's what the people on neighbors on that street, which is a dead end street.
Yeah.
Well, there's a lot of cops here.
Oops.
So and they could hear the negotiator with the bullhorn and talking to the guy inside the house, and
Yeah.
it's like, wow. So you never know what's gonna
You
what's,
never know.
what's
So
gonna happen.
unsettled after something like that to
Yeah.
have that be my neighbor and everything, the
Right.
dust settles or whatever, and then you're
Yep.
thinking,
Because you never know.
you don't know, and your neighbors with someone who's kind of got
okay.
short fuse.
They said it's been there for 20 to 30 years too. So
Fascinating trivia.
all right.
The bottom layer of the rock
Oh.
at Bryce Canyon National Park is the top layer at Zion National Park, and the bottom layer at Zion is the top layer of Grand Canyon
Wow.
in terms of elevations
Yeah.
and the rock strata.
Wow.
You don't think in those terms, but then
No.
when they point it
No.
out, it's like you think this is very strange.
But when you see it, it really is.
But yeah, and then you
magnificent.
see all the
It's
layers
massive.
going down
Impressive.
Grand
Oh.
Canyon. It's incredible.
And you didn't take a donkey down to the river?
No donkeys down the
That
trails.
takes time. That's
it was
not a-
about
Does it?
it was
Okay.
about 30 degrees with about 40 mile per
Oh.
hour winds when we were there.
I see.
There was nothing comfortable about being at the Grand Canyon when I was
In the
there.
bottom of the Grand
That
Canyon,
absolutely.
it's probably like
It-
50
It
degrees or
amazed
60.
me though how many spots there were where they were not protected with railings.
Mm-hmm.
And,
It's a lot.
and
Right.
if you were not careful, you could
go
literally just be
Tumble
gone.
down. Or did you do? There's that horseshoe bridge kind of thing.
Oh, the glass one. Yeah.
The
Yeah,
glass one.
yeah,
Did you
that's-
go on that?
I did not.
It's on the
We
north.
weren't-
That's
we
on the
weren't in that
northern.
section.
I think the
That's on
northern
north
side. Yeah, and it's not far. It's not easy to get to it because
Oh, it
it's
isn't?
still a lot of travel.
Yeah, I was-
the
All
Grand Canyon is
We
massive.
were on one of the southern areas. of
Maswick
the park.
Lodge in that area in the Grand Canyon.
It's
And I hear that bridge expensive. It's like $75 just to
Yeah.
walk out onto this thing,
Just to be scared.
just to be scared.
Yeah, no.
is right.
I'm good.
So you're passing on.
although
that?
I did when I was in Chicago when my son was in boot camp for the Navy and we went out to visit him. We did go up one of the buildings that has one of these glass
The Sears
yeah,
Tower.
yeah.
Yep.
bust outs.
Same
and
thing. Nope.
Was able to climb onto that and look like
I'd be
40
crawling.
or
I'd be
50
crawling like a
40 or
baby.
50
like-
stories down.
No. No.
Well, actually, that was one of the reactions your body.
Your body
sometimes
just
has.
wants to. Yeah.
When I was out in Las Vegas and I had gone up to the top of the stratosphere, in the restaurant that's enclosed
Mm-hmm.
just below the roof, the windows are at an angle, so you can go up to the windows and
Yeah,
look
look
straight
down.
down. But then when you go up on the roof, you're up in the open air, and you can walk out to this area that you can climb out onto, which is secure and closed. But just walking to the edge of that building, I tried it, and
feel it?
my body wouldn't let me. My feet were moving, the back of my body was doing this, and,
Backing
and
up.
pushing away, like no, we're not going there.
So the amusement rides at the top of the
And then there's
stratosphere.
amusement
No.
rides above that.
Yeah.
That no, not
You
even
get to
close.
spin around. No.
Not even. Well, the thing is, the coaster thing just
Drops down.
tilts and then drops down.
Yeah, and pulls
like
you
you're
back.
falling off the building.
What a great feeling.
I'm just wondering how much vomit ends up on the street below.
Probably a lot.
Well, someone down there with a hose. So. All right, here goes another one. All right.
Or an umbrella.
And
So
that
we-
sawdust
an
sprinkle
umbrella.
stuff they have in the elementary school. Just
Yeah.
sweep it up.
Cat litter. That's right. All right. So we have a John. You must be familiar with this business, being the former finance director in Lincoln. United Natural Foods is laying off. Well, first they're moving.
Yeah, they're
and
moving
then
to Providence.
They're moving to Providence, but they're laying off 121 people.
Yes.
Wow. Starting at the beginning of the year and going all the way to the
That
end of the month.
announcement came at the same time, and another announcement of CVS layoffs has come.
Yeah.
A lot of remote workers and about 12 from Woonsocket in the main office,
Yeah. That's what they were saying.
and then a bunch more from remote working, which is still a lot of people from CVS that are working remotely. There's not a lot of parking lot occupation up in the industrial park, and I'm still concerned, and as a taxpayer in Woonsocket, about the risk with CVS making all the changes they're making and maybe spinning off Aetna and reconsolidating all of their office arrangements and such. I'm still nervous about the fact that they have not responded to people approaching them about re-upping their tax stabilization agreement for another 20-year period. And they, as far as I know, the state hasn't reached out to them or met with them that I'm aware of. And that ends in 2027. So there's only a couple, 3 years left of CVS's tax agreement. I don't think they're interested in paying the full tax rate to occupy the space. And they have about, I don't know, 8 or 10 buildings up in that area now. That if they consolidate their workforce because of changes, layoffs with remote workers and call other people back, I don't know that they're going to occupy all that space, and it will present a serious tax challenge to the city.
All right. This company in Lincoln, were they a good corporate citizen, as far as you know?
Quiet corporate citizens paid their taxes, did their
That's what I
job.
mean.
Yes,
And that's it.
absolutely. That's
Okay.
it.
But it's too bad that they're laying off 121 people over there
And
as well.
they're moving
So-
to Providence.
and
I
they're
didn't
moving.
even notice. Where did it say they're moving to?
Where in Providence? I don't know.
Didn't-
I don't have that information, just that that's where they're going. So, All right, time to take a break here in the Coffee and program and take a look at the weather forecast being brought to you by Allstate Insurance.
Increasing clouds today with a high of 35 degrees and light and variable wind. Tonight, a slight chance of snow before 8 p.m., then rain. Patchy fog after 9 p.m., overnight low of 33. The winds will gust up past 20 miles per hour. New snow accumulation overnight tonight in the Woonsocket area, less than half an inch. Thursday's weather. Rain is likely before 3 p.m., then a slight chance of some snow, patchy fog before 10 a.m., otherwise mostly cloudy all day with a high of 36 in the Woonsocket area. Westerly winds, though, gusting up to gale force 40 miles per hour during the day. Chance of precipitation is only 70% Thursday. Little or no snow accumulation is expected by the time it's over. Friday, sunshine and a high of 32 with westerly winds up over 30 miles per hour. Saturday, sunshine, winds diminish, 35 degrees. Sunday, mostly sunny with a high of 41. Monday, a chance of rain, mostly cloudy with a high of 48. And on Tuesday, rain is even more likely, mostly cloudy, high of 56.
Outside the Navigant Credit Union broadcast studio on the corner of Park Ave and Kennedy Street with sunny skies, we have 26 degrees. Some people just know you could save money on car insurance by checking Allstate first. So what are you waiting for? Check Allstate first for a quote today. You're in good hands with Allstate.
Krakow Deli Bakery Smokehouse offers authentic homemade Polish food to make your next meal special. Try our many varieties of hot and fresh pierogies with onions and what they call dirty sour cream. Or pick up gołąbki, kielbasa, babkas, or some fresh rye bread. We also offer a large selection of specialty and imported foods. Open Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Fridays, 9 in the morning till 6 p.m., Wednesdays, 9 a.m. to 5 p.m., Saturdays from 8 to 5 p.m. It's Krakow Deli Bakery Smokehouse. Follow us on Facebook and learn about our weekly specials. Located at 855 Social Street, Woonsocket, Krakow Deli Bakery Smokehouse has all the authentic Polish foods you love. For an Allstate agent, providing protection options that fit your life is something they take, well, personally. Allstate agents are committed to learning about your needs and helping customize protection to meet them. From bundling your home and auto insurance with ease to evaluating optional coverage, your Allstate agent can help build an insurance proposal that fits your life. And just as important as learning what you need is learning what you don't. Because helping you get coverage you want with savings you deserve is what Allstate is all about. It's time to get coverage that's catered to you. Are you in good hands? Call Kara and Celeste Benjamin at the Benjamin Agency. One agency, two locations in North Smithfield and Bellingham. One telephone number, 765-5000. Subject to terms, conditions, and availability. Allstate Fire and Casualty Insurance Company and Allstate Property and Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, Northbrook, Illinois.
Hey, it's ON Radio's Cruisin' Bruce Palmer, and I'd love to have you join me every Saturday for the Saturday Block Party. We start at 4 o'clock when I open up the ON Music Vault for you to pick whatever you want to hear or send to somebody special. Yes, the good old radio request days are back. Join me for the Saturday Block Party, Saturdays from 4 until 7 on ON Radio and streaming online at woonsocketradio.com.
All right, Coffee Ann on ON Radio. Thanks for joining us. I'm Joe Callahan here with John Ward and Melissa Smith and Tim Draper. And Tim, time for your first message from Navigant Credit Union.
Thank you, Joe. If you've been listening to the news very recently, as of I think yesterday, you're hearing about the grandparent scam
In Central Falls.
In Central Falls, yeah. Yep. It is rearing its ugly head here in Rhode Island. I heard Joe talking about it yesterday with the crew. It is real, folks, and it is unnerving because these bad guys are playing on your emotions. And what will happen is somebody will call you up and tell you that a relative of yours is in jail, or they've been in an accident, or there's some emergency situation that you need to send money to somebody in order to fix the situation.
I like how they say, I'm John Smith from the law firm of Smith, Draper, and Ward.
Right. That's exactly what they do.
And
then they're going to
representing
give
your
you a phone
grandchild.
number to call back
Are they?
once you give yourself some time to think about it and process it, and you're going to call a number that they've already set up with somebody on the other end who's going to continue the story. Mm-hmm. So we suggest that, again, when we do these senior safeguard seminars, we just tell people to 4 letters, stop. Stop, take a deep breath, and then call the person or a relative of the person that you think is in trouble and find out if that's in fact real. Because I think you'll find out that it's not. We had a senior safeguard thing. Where did we do it last?
Smithfield
We did it
Senior
in
Center?
Smithfield Senior Center.
Yeah, Randy
While
mentioned
we
that.
were there, our team was dealing with somebody trying to take money out of their savings account to quote unquote buy a car, but like $40,000 to buy a car. And he went to one branch. Our team was like, yeah, no, this does not sound good. Doesn't pass the smell test. Got the security team involved. He's got upset. It's my money. We said, we understand.
Did he go to another branch?
Went to another branch.
Wow.
The notes were in the system. The other branch was just as diligent. And eventually the guy admitted at the end of the day that something was going on. But the criminals, he had a phone in his pocket on, so they could hear what was going on.
Wow.
And they would advise him after he left the
What to
branch what to
say.
do and what to say.
Wow.
So very sophisticated stuff, folks. But it's probably not accurate at all if you're getting these phone calls out of the blue. And even if the voice sounds exactly like your grandson, granddaughter, daughter, son, brother, sister, whatever, artificial intelligence has a way to make those things happen and sound very realistic. So the best thing you can do is hang up and call the person that they're saying is in trouble. Be safe, folks. It's a crazy season out there. Everybody's trying to take advantage of folks. We're just, if you have any questions, you want help, we're here. We're here to help you.
I keep looking forward to getting these because I have fun with them.
Yeah. I want somebody to be there.
I can
Just record
recognize-
it when you
I
do
can
it.
recognize them almost immediately, so I
Right.
start doing goofy things. If I ever got one of those that said, I'm in jail, I'd just say, have you called your sister Chris yet? And then I'd wait for a yes, and I'd say, Chris is your brother. Hi. or where are you? And then they'd say where they are. I'd say, I'll be right there.
Right.
No. Yeah, I'll be right
Yeah,
there.
I'll be right down.
So that's the thing, folks. Just be cautious, be smart. I know it's an emotional thing, but use your brain. I know everybody out there is smart and intelligent, so let's just make sure that we're protecting our assets. And if you have any questions, you can call us at 233-4700, and we're happy to talk to you about it.
All right, very good there, Tim. Thank you. All right, up in Massachusetts, over 200 sea turtles have washed up on the beach.
Yeah.
They're stunned because the water's too cold. They shouldn't be here.
Right, they should be.
They should have gone south by now. And since the water's too cold, they're all stunned.
No.
And now they can't move.
I wonder if it's because the weather, it was so unseasonably warm for as long as it was. They just didn't know that they need to
Possibly.
leave.
Yeah. So the New England Aquarium staff and the volunteers they're walking along the beaches all along the South Shore and the Cape Cod Bay. They're looking for more turtles that are just.
Yeah.
What are they doing with them?
They're bringing them to the New England Aquarium Sea Turtle Hospital, which is in Quincy, just south of Boston. And I don't know, trying to warm
Giving
them up,
them a
I
warm
guess.
bath.
Yeah.
Put them in the warm
Yeah.
salt water
Get 'em-
and see if they can
Then
be
what do they do
revived.
with them? They have to fly them down to Florida.
Are they going to have to? You can't release them back into the Atlantic around
No.
here. The water's too
That's so
cold.
No,
sad.
you have to drive them south and
Yeah.
drop them in the water in the
You're
Carolinas.
not doing
or
anything,
something.
John, so you can get
And you like driving
You don't
long
need a
distances?
CDL license.
CDL license.
Well, you don't need a
That
CDL to
could
do
be
this. But it's
Throw 'em in
it's
the back
just,
of the pickup.
It's just
You'd be
it's a bizarre
surprised.
story that
Probably
these
wouldn't
sea
need a
turtles are walking
CDL
up.
because it would be in a truck, I'm sure.
Well, that big
Call
though?
a turtle taxi.
Turtle
Oh,
taxi.
isn't that cute?
That's perfect.
Trestle. Time for this one to come home.
Oh wow, I remember that cartoon. So also in Massachusetts,
the wizard.
I thought I knew everything about the Karen Reed case. Apparently not. Prosecutors in the Karen Reed case are asking a judge to exclude a defense dog bite expert from testifying at the upcoming retrial. Where is there a dog in this?
I don't
when
remember that
when
part.
did the dog
I didn't know
come
that
into
that was
this?
I don't know that that was I didn't even know it was part of the case.
Did it bite the man that died? Did it bite her?
I have no idea. I don't remember a dog being mentioned
Me
either.
neither.
The rest of the story goes on. It's just a rehash
I
of
swear they're
what's
making-
going on.
I'm amazed they're still even dealing with this case. I would have thought they would have given up and simply said,
Well, the state
"Forget
won't-
it. We
the
got to
state-
go.
the
We
state
got to go
won't
look
give
for
up.
the actual killer."
The state won't give up.
Well, I think the whole
Well, that's
department
because
is
they're
corrupt,
covering-
right? That's what they're saying.
because
So it's
the
more about
cover
the
up
But
is
that's the
so
police
bad
department.
With,
that they
with everything I've read about the state
Yeah.
police in Massachusetts, it's because they're covering something up.
right.
Well, there you go.
And then,
Okay.
and if
It
they
is-
give up, then
There is
It's
more
admitting their
corruption
guilt.
in the
There
state
is.
police in Massachusetts
Oh, it's
than
terrible.
I could ever have even imagined.
Yeah. The prosecutor, their new prosecutor, Hank Brennan, says the defense failed to prove that longtime emergency room doctor Marie Russell of California is a qualified expert, despite her testifying at the first trial. I don't know if that has anything to do with the dog bite. So it's just more and more crazy things come out, and they still haven't said whether or not we're moving the trial from January to April.
I feel like it's the prosecution's like in desperation mode to just
Oh,
grab
we're
anything.
grabbing-
and
we're
everything.
grabbing at everything.
Speaking of desperate prosecutions, I'm waiting to see how the jury comes out with a decision on this guy in New York who was
on the
accused
subway?
of murder on the subway. When the medical examiner even said,
Oh, the guy with the
the guy
chokehold?
didn't die from the choke.
Chokehold.
Right.
That's right.
He
He
didn't
died
die
from
from
something
chokehold.
else.
From the drugs he
Died
had
from
in
the
the
drugs.
system.
Yeah.
It's like, okay,
Well, there
that's
you go.
like
Acquittal.
The guy was just holding the Marine
holding
was
him
just
back.
holding him down.
That's
and
like-
one of the witnesses like he wasn't holding him very hard.
Yeah. So I don't know.
that's like what's his face out in Minnesota that they say was choked, but then when you look at the medical reports, it's like no, his body was filled with fentanyl. And
Is that George Floyd that you're
yeah,
talking about?
I mean, he
Okay.
died of drug overdose and
Or reaction,
other
yeah.
physical ailments he
Yeah.
had, and he was a chronic drug user. And the medical reports say that he did not indicate that he was physically choked to death, and yet there's a cop in prison for years because of it. It's very, very strange how these things play out with prosecutors.
It is, and but we still have statues for George Floyd that are out there.
Please.
They're there. So I'm
I know.
just saying. Yesterday was a sad anniversary. You know what the anniversary was yesterday? The 25th anniversary. The sixth Worcester firefighters.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
right.
Oh.
That was they had a big thing. In
25?
Worcester.
It was 25 years ago.
Wow.
I didn't realize they built
Honestly,
a
I thought-
firehouse on the property that building was on.
Oh, really? I didn't
Once
know
they
that. I
knocked the
didn't know
building
that
down,
either.
they built a brand new fire
Wow. I didn't know
right
that
there on
either.
the property.
And it's so sad because there's homeless people in the building when there weren't at the time, and they went in to go save them, and
Right.
the building collapsed on them, I guess. So wow, that was a sad situation on there. The fire station is on the site of the warehouse where they died. I wonder how the current firefighters feel about that.
I think that's
That's
they
what
wanted
they
it.
wanted that?
Yeah, I think
that
that was
way?
that's the memorial to the firefighters.
Yeah.
Is that building?
Okay. Over Thanksgiving weekend in Rhode Island, Rhode Island state troopers made 27 arrests for driving under the influence.
Oh boy.
They don't say what the Thanksgiving. Are we starting on Wednesday and going to Monday? Is it 4 days? Is it 5 days? It doesn't say what the holiday is. So weekend, but we had 27. But there were 700 stops for various traffic violations. That's a lot, I think.
There was a lot of speeding.
And there was 100 vehicle crashes in Rhode
Yeah,
Island
I believe
over
it.
the Thanksgiving holiday. So
We drove home Thanksgiving night from Boston area. We were north of Boston for my in-laws, and I have to tell you, it's never about our ability to drive safely on the highway.
It's always somebody
the
else.
people weaving around, and you have to wonder, drinking, not drinking, just aggressiveness, doesn't matter. But the volume of traffic is a lot because it's a holiday, and then you mix it in with that, and it's just. We had a big debate in my car about whether or not, because my kids love to debate everything, because that's teenagers love any
Conflict.
kind of they're always right, you're always wrong, blah blah blah.
what side are they taking?
But we just had this big conversation about whether or not cars should automatically now have breathalyzers.
Every car?
Every car. And would it be a violation of rights? But at the same time,
Yes.
right. But there's some people like, okay, I may have a couple glasses of wine and
I
think,
disagree. That's like mandating seat belts. People say it's a violation of my rights. I don't have to do it, but it's not.
but it's not.
So
a safety
mandating breathalyzers in a car that you must breathe into is, I don't think, necessarily a violation of a constitutional right, because just driving is a privilege, not a right.
True.
Okay.
Well, you would have been welcomed in my car. Lots of points like that were made. I think that
I'm sitting in the back seat with the two girls.
with your seatbelt on and holding the dog. But yeah, no, it was just this. Some people don't know, my 2 glasses of wine and being able to drive versus someone else's 2 glasses of wine and being able to drive, and how you
Be
measure
different.
that difference. Yeah,
Or someone else's 2 glasses of wine and falling down.
right. So it was that. It was that conversation, and the accessibility of Uber these days. So if your car doesn't start because you're detected as your blood alcohol level's a little too high, then you call an Uber
But
Or
some,
relax and wait.
or hang out, have
But
some
even-
water and a
even-
cup of coffee.
Go
but
get,
even
your,
I-
go
I've-
get yourself a bag of Fritos and relax for
but
a minute.
I've known people that are drunk and say I'm perfectly fine, and they drive and they get and sometimes they get home fine. So
Sometimes they don't.
and sometimes they don't. So, question though for Melissa, because we got the story from the Rhode Island Blood Center. urgent appeal for blood donors. There's a 20% drop in donations after Thanksgiving. Do you rely on the Rhode Island Blood Center for blood at the at St. Antoine's?
No, because we don't do surgeries or any kind of blood transfusions or
you
anything.
don't?
No.
Okay, I thought you
Not
might
on site. No.
for emergency. Someone fell and they're bleeding, and oh my god.
Oh no, we send them out.
Oh, okay,
That's
okay.
something that
All right.
we-
Well, this doesn't affect you
No,
then. Okay.
no.
Well-
But we have had blood drives on our property before during times of peak emergencies. But yeah, this is a very common time of year for them to be
Critically low right
spiking.
now.
Yep.
They need especially type O and like that. And so, and the residents come out and donate blood.
The last time we had, so we were scheduled to have one this spring. Where are we? We're in December.
It's almost Christmas.
Oh gosh, blink, right?
Wow.
And it got canceled at the last minute. They didn't have enough phlebotomists or whatever
Yeah.
to be able to staff it. So we had to cancel it. Unfortunately, the time before that, yes, we did have some residents come out.
They come out and donate?
We
Okay.
didn't widely advertise it to the nursing home
Mm-hmm.
resident population, but assisted living residents did come out. Yes.
So I forget what the cutoff age is. It used to be 65 or so, or in that area.
We
It
have
might
some very
gone up by now.
loyal blood donors in our assisted living that have been
Doing it forever.
lifelong card holders. Like they have their badge of pride, and they.
They get their
50
mugs.
gallon club.
Yeah, that's
I
right.
know,
That's right.
Yep.
All right, it's time for a break. And Tim, time for your second message from Navigant Credit Union, please.
Well, Joe, these holiday messages for us are always fun because they really are just about, celebrating what's good in what's positive in your life. And if you've been driving down 146, you see our annual word selection. We have every year. We pick a word that we rally around at this time of the year and promote. And this year the word is tradition. And we want folks to sit back and think a little bit about some of the traditions that they have in their families that they do at this time of the year. In our case, we have a big Christmas Eve open house, and all of our relatives and friends come over, and it involves a lot of food because my wife's Portuguese, so of course it involves more food than we ever have. A late evening of singing and sitting around the fireplace and getting caught up from the year's craziness. And that's the tradition in the Draper house that we really love. So if you have a tradition, think about what those traditions are, share them with each other, and celebrate them. And at this time of the year, the folks at the credit union, myself included, wish you and your families a very happy and merry holiday season.
Very good, Tim. And more of the Coffee and program coming your ways. Please stick around.
If household finances are tight and you're having trouble paying the heating bills, the Good Neighbor Energy Fund may be able to provide assistance. Please contact a local CAP agency. Call United Way 211 or visit Rhode-IslandGoodNeighbor.org. Ad sponsored by the Rhode Island Broadcasters Association.
The annual St. Anne Arts and Cultural Center Christmas Party is going to be held on Saturday, December 7th, and tickets are just $25. All proceeds benefit the center. Enjoy an evening of food and plenty of holiday cheer. Tickets are available at Beatles Flowers, Creative Impressions, The Honey Shop, Pine Swamp Place, Timeless Antiques, Vos True Value Hardware, or call 401-486-9380. Visit the St. Anne Arts and Cultural Center website for more details.
This is Dave Richards. On Wednesday's Milk Fund Radio Auction, we'll put up for bid a whole bunch of interesting items, including another pair of Muppet Babies plush toys, a big Red Sox pillow, plus lots of valuable gift certificates. So join me, Joe Callahan, and our celebrity guest auctioneer, Geraldine Barclay King of Jerry's Bluffing Boutique on Main Street in Woonsocket from 4 to 5 p.m. Only on ON, AM, and FM radio and video streamed live for your convenience.
ON Radio. You can depend on us for public service. ON Radio.
It is Coffee In here on ON, AM, and FM. Thanks for joining us. Joe Callahan with John Ward and Tim Draper and Melissa Smith. And Melissa, excited? The first trailer for the live-action Snow White movie is out.
Say something about that?
You're
So
not up
you
on
just
this
mentioned
Disney
it.
one?
No,
Yeah.
my kid said it to me.
Okay.
So we just saw Wicked on
yeah.
Sunday, which
saw it
if
too.
you haven't, I don't know if you even have an
Loved it.
interest, but I have to
Loved
tell
it.
you,
Amazing.
I couldn't breathe through half of it. It
Right.
was that good.
The special effects are incredible.
I saw the play.
You will
Better
love
than the
movie.
play.
Better than the play?
Better
Yeah.
than the
But
play.
be
And
ready.
I didn't think that was
It's
possible.
a two-part
I was
movie.
watching
Yeah.
Moana.
Oh yeah, that's
And
another
you
good one.
can't, I heard that was good too. And you can't not see it in the movies. I feel like if I saw Wicked at home, it would not have the volume of the
Oh,
music and
the scene's a huge.
it just
screen,
took
right?
it took your breath away. It was fantastic. Okay,
did.
so anyways,
So Snow White.
So going back to Snow White. Joe, you sound just like my husband. Reeling me
Let's
in,
get
keeping
back.
me on point. It's totally fine. What aggravated me for Wicked was that there was 30 minutes. It felt like 30 minutes of previews.
Oh yeah.
None of them were Snow White.
Really?
And my
It's
kids
surprising.
thought maybe that would be the one that was
Yeah.
advertised, and it wasn't.
Yeah.
Okay.
There was a lot of other loud
it's
things.
come-
I did see Snow White at the beginning
preview?
of Moana.
You
Was-
did?
'Cause it-
I'm not sure exactly why. Maybe it's
The
but,
Disney
but
movie.
But a
it's,
Disney
it is Disney.
They did a lot of changing compared to what they originally filmed or intended to do, and they put in CGI
No, I'm sure.
dwarfs now. They've changed out some of the strategy around the story to put it back to more of the traditional Snow White.
Well, they do say that the Rachel Zegler, I don't know her. She is Snow White. She flees into the woods after her mother, the Wicked Queen, orders her murder. She then discovers the cottage where the magical seven dwarfs live, and Snow White hits the theaters in March of 2025.
That would be a good one. It'll do well for Disney.
Gal Gadot.
Gadot, yeah.
All right.
She's the mother, right?
It doesn't say. It just says
I
the
think
rest
she
of the
is. I think
cast
she's
is
the
her.
Wonder Star.
Wonder Woman. She's the
Andrew,
Wonder Woman.
Andrew
She's-
Burnap
Don't know him.
and Martin Kleba, Klebba. Any?
Name is familiar, but I
No.
don't.
Gal Gadot.
They're
is
in the
Wonder Woman.
Yep.
Is she?
She's the new Wonder Woman. Yeah.
Okay. Well, in case you haven't heard, there was an asteroid coming right at us,
Yes.
and it burned up.
It's about this
Oh,
big.
that's
It's
good.
about that big. That's
I
right.
didn't even hear about it.
Well, it burned up over northeast Russia, so we're all safe.
Fantastic.
So we're all okay.
Didn't hit Russia. Huh?
No. The European Space Agency said a small asteroid less than 30 inches wide, that's about right, John, was on collision course with Siberia and predicted any possible impact would be harmless. Instead of impacting, the asteroid just burned up and created a bright fireball in the sky, in case you happen to be in Siberia and took a look at it.
What's the difference between a meteorite and an asteroid? Size?
Yes.
Okay. Because it seems like we're always experiencing meteor showers. Just go outside and look at them in between
Yes,
2 and 4 in the
that's-
morning. And
But a
you
lot
can
of that is more like the size of small pebbles and dust.
Boy, but they create a lot of.
It just sparkles as it comes through the atmosphere.
I'm amazed that people still do this. I thought it had its peak and then went away, and it's gender reveal parties. And you know, people are still doing this,
Yes.
and I don't know why. And this happened in Parker's Mill, Kentucky. Good old Parker's Mill. Some folks in Kentucky were a bit shaken, but not stirred. But no injuries were reported after a large explosion that was apparently part of a gender reveal.
I just don't get it.
Let's blow things up. Residents called the Parker Mills Fire Department last week after the explosions shook their homes. Firefighters were called out, cleared the scene, and posted on Facebook. The explosion site was very blue, so they're having a boy. Hooray, hooray, hooray. But yeah, I didn't. I wonder what blew up. It doesn't say what blew up, but I thought those parties are going away.
I thought they were too, and I
but I
feel
guess
like
they're still around. It's still a thing.
I don't know.
Millennials.
Maybe.
Millennials.
No casualties reported.
No casualties. They didn't
It's
call the
that
police. They
whole,
called the
like,
fire department. So.
You need to put
Everything's
it on
above it.
social media.
Oh,
and you
it's
have to
everything's
have
an
it-
That's
event.
a thing.
Everything's an event.
And it
Everything.
blows your mind because it's just so much spectacle and the balloon arch and the party and the.
Oh, yeah.
It's like even weddings today. You have to have an engagement party followed by like 3 different bachelorette parties. One local, one
Right.
far away. It's everything is just.
Well, we've gone from having wedding pictures to engagement pictures, and
Yes.
pretty soon we're going to have when I met her pictures.
Yep. Don't forget the 1 year after you got married picture with your dog.
Oh, that's
and then
right.
After
With your
that,
dog.
It's,
Oh, that's
it's,
right. I forgot about that one.
It's out of control. And then you think to yourself, like the wasted money. I know
How much
I'm sounding
money have
old,
we
but
spent?
the practical look back, you're like, I'm so glad I missed all that. Like that was, I got all my stuff out of the way before this. But
We
the,
sound like
the,
our
the
parents.
gender
This is so
reveal
sad.
thing bothers me too. As someone who had some issues with like infertility and some pregnancy troubles, I just think it's a little bit of a, I don't know, it's a little curse. Like keep it private, keep it intimate.
Overblown.
Yeah, maybe reveal when it's born.
Yeah.
And
Oh,
healthy.
there's a-
you know, like
there's
it's a
Yeah.
and then
Put
you
a
got
balloon out.
balloons, you know?
balloon
Not
out.
Afterwards.
the
You mean like the
premature.
cigars you'd hand out that had
Yes,
a blue
Yes.
band or a
Yeah.
pink band on them?
Exactly.
And you know the other
Those are
thing
good
is
old
they're doing these parties at like a 12-week mark now. Like you can
so
tell
early.
earlier and
That's-
earlier.
that's so early.
And that's the
Something
other thing.
might
There's
happen.
just exactly.
Yeah.
There's that threat, and I would just be a little more cautious.
Hospitals
And
don't
subtle.
sell cigars anymore. They sell
Chocolate.
chocolate bars that look like cigars.
Right, chocolate cigars.
All right. The player for the Houston Texans that laid the hit on Trevor Lawrence.
That was
Dirtbag.
so bad.
Suspended for 3 games.
Good.
Suspended for 3 games.
He should be.
For that vicious hit. And
It's
that was
not
a
just that's
incredible
not the
hit.
first time he's done that.
Oh, I didn't realize that.
Oh, 2
either.
weeks before he did it to who were they playing 2 weeks before? He literally
He
hit the
did.
guy out of bounds. He was out of
He was
bounds
out
and
of
he
bounds and still
laid
hit
him out.
Wow. He says he did apologize. Well, that's great. But he will reportedly appeal the suspension. Now, there's only 4 weeks left.
Yeah.
If you appeal it, that's going to go to next year. I wouldn't do that.
Yeah.
Unless I don't know. Is Houston going to the playoffs? I'm not up on my Houston Texans.
I mean, there's 4 more weeks of suffering through Patriots games?
Oh yeah.
But not this week. Sorry.
Oh, 3 weeks then.
Well, no, it's still 4.
Oh, still
they have
4,
4
okay.
games left, but they're not
Oh, okay.
playing this week. So
Oh, I see. Okay.
That's why we all want you to come out.
That
For,
one pointer was almost too much to take.
I know.
That's why we want you to come out for Bowling for Milk on Sunday because the Patriots are not playing, and you'll all have a good time down at Walnut Hill Bowl with us. 1 to 4 on Sunday.
Is that where you're bartending?
No,
you're bartending
I'll be
over at the-
bartending at the Elks. Not the
the
Elks.
Elks.
I'm sorry. Post 85.
Post 85.
That's where I'll be bartending on the 17th. Tiger Woods is playing a comeback in 2025. I didn't know he ever went away.
He's constantly coming
I
back.
bet he wants to have one
More match.
tournament
One more
with his
biggie.
son. I bet he's holding out, trying to get to a.
Oh, maybe.
He hasn't competed in an event since last July. He had surgery on his back in September. I always thought he always has constant back problems. He spoke at the Hero World Challenge, the tournament he hosts in the Bahamas. That's rough. And he said the procedure helped, and he hopes he will be physically stronger and better in 2025. He's only 48.
Yeah.
He said the fire still burns to compete. So
Yeah.
when he wants to
I
play.
think we got a little
play.
LeBron thing happening. I think he's probably like going to
Maybe.
stay a little relevant, a tournament or two a year, just until his son.
I think the jury's out on
still, I'm
Tiger's
so
son.
fascinated with all of his leg problems and back surgeries
Yeah.
and all of the pain and suffering he goes through that if I stood at a golf ball and I gave 100%, 110% of my body's capability to make contact with that ball,
It'd still only go
he'd
50
still
yards.
drive it 120 yards farther with all his problems.
Well,
With accuracy, too.
And, I mean,
yeah, it's
even if
gonna
I
go
hit
straight.
even if I hit it perfectly clean
yeah.
and put everything I have in it, maybe even with the wind behind my back,
200 yards?
he'd still do it, beat
Better.
it by 100 yards just for his swing.
All right.
Which is why his back is an issue.
That must be it.
Because it's just so powerful.
Bible sales are spiking.
Oh.
Jason
That's
King,
nice.
he heads the Center for Catholic Studies at St. Mary's University, attributes the surge to a sense of uneasiness. All right. The public.
Gee, how
But
could
yet,
that happen?
and it's interesting that you say that, but then
right.
I mean, why are all religions experiencing
a surge?
a shift away? No, people
Oh,
are
away.
just, they're not rallying around organized religion.
No,
He says the public is looking for stability.
there's a lot of faith in the world, very little, much less religion these days than before.
Yeah.
But there is still a lot of faith.
I hope so.
Yeah.
That gives me hope. I mean, you don't have to be a Catholic or Protestant, but if you have faith
The book,
in a power greater than us.
Oh, he's bringing us back. Hold on.
the book. Well, I'm just letting you know. The book sale tracker, Circana Book Scan, must be a website. Says the Bible sales have increased 22% compared to last year.
Well, there's a lot of new hotels being built, so they have to stock all those rooms with Bibles. So maybe that's.
Are
what
there
it is.
still Bibles in hotel rooms?
I don't know.
Yes,
I think
Are
so.
there?
yes.
Okay.
Yeah, open the
Did
drawer,
you
it's
check?
there.
It's still there. Okay.
Yes, I'm fascinated by all the women who are getting sterilized because they think Trump's going to prevent them from getting an abortion, so they're going to sterilize.
I've
themselves.
seen that on.
I have not heard that.
No?
And I don't know if I buy
they're all
into
over,
that.
They're all over TikTok.
Oh yeah.
Oh, boy.
The shaving,
TikTok,
the
yeah.
shaving
Oh,
of
you
the head.
told me about that. I looked at. You're talking.
Well, I don't do TikTok.
I can't.
You don't believe it?
No, I mean,
I
they may
refuse
be
to
out
go
there,
on.
but I don't think it's on the volume of what it's being interpreted to
I
be.
get it picked up on X where they're posting the TikTok crazies that are saying they're going to go get themselves neutralized.
Neutered.
Because they can't trust Trump.
Because that's
Yeah.
his.
Oh, yeah, and they're,
they're
shaving their head, too.
That's so they can.
That's so they know
recognize
they're in
each other.
solidarity
Yeah.
with each other.
All right. Speaking of Wicked, last
Oh,
thing.
good. We're gonna bring it
Speaking
back
of
to
Wicked- Yes.
Thank goodness.
Because this happened a month or so ago, and now Mattel, the toy company, is facing their first lawsuit because they had a QR code on the back of a Wicked doll.
Yeah, it didn't go to Wicked.
It didn't go to the Wicked movie website. It went to a porn site.
Wicked video.
Oh yeah.
Oh, that's a big mess up.
They just
Yeah,
went
that's
to,
an oops.
If you want to know, they went to wicked.com. That's not the one you want to go to for the kids.
Oh my goodness.
It was supposed to be Wicked Movie.
WickedMovie.com.
.com. But anyway, so the packaging had mistakenly had the porn site on it. The link on the box for the Elphaba. Is that a character? And Glinda dolls.
Alpha. Yeah,
Elphaba.
Alphaba.
Is that like Orange Tang?
Yeah.
Well, they got it spelled, Tim. ELPHABA.
Elfie.
Elphaba.
We're on a nickname basis.
Okay, and the Glinda dolls went to the wrong website. Mattel pulled the toys. They issued an apology. They went nationwide, by the way. Like Target had them, and so this was a big deal. So now, South Carolina mom, not happy. She's leading a class action lawsuit. She says her young daughter used an iPhone to visit the link and was left, quote, horrified by the result. Does not say how old the child was. Go, Melissa.
Well, I'm gonna derail from this, but I just want because you were a Wicked fan and you're gonna go see it and you're gonna consider going to see it. I learned in my ride home leaving there, my daughter went into this whole story that I blew my mind and I didn't even realize. But the sequel, so next year it comes out with the second installment. I didn't know that all of the characters in Wizard of Oz, so the Tin Man and the Lion, and are all characters that we just saw in Wicked.
Yeah, they are.
Yes.
Yeah, there was a baby. There's a baby lion, right?
It's a prequel.
So
I didn't, but I wasn't connecting who the Tin Man was, and I'm not going to spoil it. No, I'm not going to spoil it.
Because I know exactly who
You
they
didn't
were.
know that Wicked was
But that's
a prequel?
the play.
No. I knew that, but I didn't realize that the character. So, and I'm not going to spoil it for people who are going to go see Wicked. Who in Wicked are the Tin Man and the? I knew the Lion was. That was the obvious one.
Scarecrow.
Yes.
Okay.
And it blew my mind.
Well, the Scarecrow, I'm not sure I remember from the play, because the play actually had him. You could
And
see
who the
was
wizard?
what.
Well, who the
Actually, I
wizard
know who the
is.
Scarecrow is. It's the Tin Man, I think. I know.
All right. On that note, we gotta go.
It's kind of finding how marketing takes over these things because Oz was a dream.
Right.
Well, yeah, I know. So. All right, so that'll do it for the show.
I'll just say this
Yes.
about QR codes.
Oh,
Back
okay.
when the internet was fresh,
Yes.
Dick's Sporting Goods had that
Oh,
same
yeah, they had
problem.
the same
Did
problem.
they? Oh,
I don't
okay.
know. I'd be fascinated to find out how much they paid to buy out all of those domain names to protect themselves. But yes,
I'm
you
waiting for
didn't-
them to
you
move in the
didn't do it-
direction
you
of
didn't
like
go do a
Dunkin'
search for
Donuts and
Dick's
the DD.
because
You can see them
you
trying to
wouldn't.
do that with DSG. Like you can see them moving away from their original name of their.
Dick's
I
Sporting Goods.
think you're going to see DSG on their billboards pretty soon
possibly.
too.
All right, that'll do it for the show for today. Thank you very much for listening in. Always appreciated. So, Melissa Smith, thanks for coming in.
Thank you for having me. I will see you next week.
All right, and Tim Draper,
Joe,
thanks for
we'll
see
see you next week.
Very good. John,
leave it to
thanks
you.
for coming in.
Thank you. I will plan next time I'm coming to dress less formally.
Oh, great.
Please don't.
All right, this is Joe Callahan.
Enjoy the God-given day.
Have a great day, everyone. Stay, and we will have the Milk Fund auction today at 4 here on ON Radio.
Broadcasting live and local daily from the Navigant Credit Union broadcast studio at the corner of Park Avenue and Kennedy Street. This is WOON Woonsocket Radio. And now, the news. In Providence, a judge has